Hi, my name is Theo, bro.
I am Marco with a K.
Duane Venner.
And this is You're Not My Type, Bro, a show where we talk about politics, social issues, relationship issues, platonic and otherwise. And as we are based in Los Angeles, California, we're here to also discuss with you entertainment news and celebrity gossip. Right, guys?
While we drink, of course.
While we drink. That makes everything better, right? I first want to talk to the audience and give them a little bit of information on us and how we met and how this podcast came to be. I've known Marco now for, I want to say, about 15 years.
We're like dog years times 7, yeah.
Dog years, real dog years. But the thing about it is I met Marco through his now ex-wife.
Yeah.
And she's a nice and vibrant, energetic young woman.
That is, I thought we're not doing politically correct.
I was like, if you can't make it work with this woman, then you can't make it work with anybody.
With anybody, yeah.
With anybody. But no, I met him through his ex-wife. She and I were both working overnight in a hotel here in Los Angeles, and we struck up a friendship, and then I got introduced to this asshole, and I've known him now for as long as I've known him, and we've worked on other projects together as well. We did
We've been longer together than most of our married friends, isn't that funny?
we've known each other longer than you were with the wife, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right, yeah. Yeah.
We've worked on a project,
right,
worked on a pilot, and that's crazy to think about that, though.
Yeah.
Right? We worked on an independent pilot, which you can stream on Reverie TV. It's called Then What Happened, so that was a lot of fun. We did a premiere for that.
Super funny.
He's a super talented guy, and I thought it would be a good idea to get with him, and come up with this concept for a show. Concepts of shows.
I like talking about me. Keep going.
And
you can join in.
Just stroking his ego more and more. Like we need that.
Listen,
like that's what we need.
I want to give credit where credit is due because he's a Berkeley School graduate. So he knows
Berkeley College,
excuse me. So he knows what he's doing in the music world. But as far as personality goes,
I have none.
He has a lot of room to grow there.
I am as shallow as can be, and I'm so proud of it. And my goal is to be even emptier.
Wow.
No, really, I thought it would be a great idea for he and I to get together, and him being a straight white male, actually immigrated here from the U.S. to the U.S. From Zurich.
Yeah, Switzerland. Yep.
And he's a straight man. I'm a gay man.
You are? Wait, for real?
I know it's hard to tell. I butcher it up all the time. Stop it. And so with that being said, we're coming from obviously varying backgrounds, different perspectives, and now to my right, further right, away to Marco's right, is Duane, and I met Duane while working at an establishment.
These LA streets.
Out in these LA streets doing stuff that we should not be doing. Literally doing stuff we should not be doing. But we've had a friendship now for, it's going on 2 years now or something like that, right?
3? Yeah.
Has it really been that long?
If it's not, it's approaching.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And
time flies, man.
Duane is a great conversationalist, and I was telling him about the show, and as I was telling him about this, I was like, oh, he'd be really great to be on this show too. Him being, and it's not all about sexuality, but I thought it was also interesting to bring someone who is, Duane does identify as a gay man, but he is sexually fluid. That's correct.
Yeah.
So,
what does that mean? Educate the white straight man.
Okay.
It means exactly what it sounds like. Fluid.
Oh, I feel so educated.
I'm not locked into one label.
Oh, I should try that.
Yeah,
You're looking at
have.
That's how he was coming on with that money about Harley Davidson's ex-wife, so you know, by the way.
And I thought we picked him up out of pity, but
no.
Funny, he's funny.
No, Duane is great, and I think we have the opportunity to have some wonderful dialogue between the three of us. And one of the things that I want to start with today, cheers to that. Mm-hmm. Speaking of cheers to that,
cheers to episode 1.
Episode 1,
absolutely.
And I want to start us off with one of these segments I like to call Cocktails and Complaints. And basically, we share a complaint with you that we've had during the last week of being on this earth under soon to be a new administration, but that's not really what my complaint is going to be. I'll kick us off with my complaint.
Ooh, first topic, inaugural. Is it inaugural? I'm still learning English.
Yeah.
I hate foreigners. I hate foreigners so much. But go ahead.
My complaint of the week is I want to talk about, like, I was raised by parents who taught me to be respectful to my elders, to be respectful to women, to treat people how you want to be treated. And so I think for me personally, like,
Where's the fun in that? Treating everyone.
I'm a
See,
chivalrous
he is an
person.
asshole.
Exactly.
Totally.
I'm a chivalrous person when it comes to, like, women. Like, I hold doors open for women, and all that kind of thing. If somebody needs help crossing the street and that bullshit, like, I do all that stuff too. Just that's because that's how I was raised.
You were raised right.
I was raised right, exactly. So on Mondays I like to go for my walk because I like to I like to go on my old man walk. I don't go to the gym on Mondays. I was just like, I just want to be outside. I want to be outside in nature, right? And so I go on my walk on Mondays, and these sidewalks in these LA streets, they're not massive. They're, it's maybe two people can sometimes walk side by side. What really gets under my skin is when you see two people coming towards you and they're having their conversation, whatever it is that they're doing, and you're like, okay, well, somebody's going to have to step to the side so the other person can get by. And me being a chivalrous person, I'm like, okay, there's these two women coming. Let me try to move off to the side. And so I'm literally moving myself to the edge, almost to the street, so I can let these two women pass.
Define women.
And they literally made no effort. They made no effort to be like, oh, there's somebody else coming. Let me try and make some room. Let me get behind this person because I know the sidewalk's not big enough, and this person's going to end up in the street.
We love entitlement.
It's called LA entitlement.
No, it just really pisses me off because then there's been other times when I've held the door open for women, and they're just like, and they just keep on going. They don't turn around. They don't say thank you. That it's just like it's expected. And I get that it can be. Maybe it should be expected. I guess I don't know.
No, it's not expected. But you know what? That's something I noticed when I first moved here from South Carolina because everybody does that, regardless of your gender, your race, whatever. That's just Southern hospitality. You're expected to do that. You make eye contact with someone. You at least acknowledge their presence. And I used to get very offended when I first got here because I just thought everyone was so fucking rude. But then I realized after being here for it's 13 years, going on 14 years, and I'm still working out what causes it. It just seems like people outside of the entitlement are just in their own bubble. Like they're just so oblivious. There's some people that I think see you do it and they just feel entitled and they don't care and they just walk through the door because you should just do that for them. But some people, they're just completely oblivious to the fact that just happened. And I wondered, and this might be a stretch, I wondered because LA's got 10 million people in LA County, but we're so spread out. Unlike New York, we don't really have to deal with each other like New Yorkers do. We don't ride subways and things like that where we're on top of each other. We're all in our cars. We're all in these bubbles, and I think that bubble just sort of manifests in a non-tangible way when people are just walking around. Then you add in technology, earbuds, what's the fact that we're so dialed into social media or email. These things are like our leashes right now. I think people just don't even clock it. Because I've noticed that I started doing it myself, and I'm like, wait, don't be that person.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to make excuses for people. I think that having manners,
there's no excuse.
I think that having manners and being polite and saying thank you goes a long way. And when you choose, it's almost as if you're like ignoring the person. I don't want attention from you. But I do want you to acknowledge it. Like I did something for you that I didn't necessarily have to do.
Yeah.
I mean, and what does this say about me that do I need that acknowledgement? There's just something that's just like.
I 150% agree with you. It's not necessarily. It's not an excuse. I was just more of like a sociological analyzation.
Yeah.
And I just feel like some people they're just disconnected. That might be. They're just oblivious.
Sure.
My own observation.
Yeah, no.
That doesn't make it okay.
Right.
You need to connect.
Yeah.
Be present. Be present.
I think that the classic chivalry
Yeah.
is gone because the classic woman is gone. And I tell you, and especially in LA, obviously we're like at the forefront, the leaders in good and bad, right? And I thank my lucky stars. I've been with Samantha now, 14 years. And, I have a lot of single friends, straight, gay, but I mostly talk to my straight friends who are single. I tell you, thank God I don't have to date today. The woman in LA, I don't know if there's a more miserable creature. They want you to be half monk, half hitman. They don't. They all have.
That escalated quickly.
No, I'm telling you, and I deal with it, and I thank God I don't have to date in LA today in 2024, 25. And the thing is, I honestly, and I'm like you, you know, I come from a background where the elderly and you know, opening the door. I mean, but I would, not only would I not want to do it today, but I'd be afraid that the person I do it for might get offended. Yeah. First and foremost, it wouldn't mean nothing,
Right?
Because the women that notice that, they're so far and few in between. Number two, like you, when you do it, it's not reciprocated. It's completely not acknowledged. You know what I mean?
But I just can't like let the door close in someone's face.
Oh, I can.
That's just
I can. I've learned.
That's just me.
You know what? I've learned, and I've always been like that. If it has no meaning, then why do it? I know that's a pessimistic way of looking at it. But yeah, sure. If you go to the pole lounge, you open the door for a lady, they'll have class. Well, thank you, sir. You know what I mean? But I tell you, I can't. I don't know of a more miserable creature than today's modern woman in LA.
Specific to gender, though, is it just women that are?
The only
Or
reason
is it just people in LA are miserable?
Every woman I meet, I go once a week to the pole lounge where I used to work. That's kind of like my weekly getaway. I put my phone on, you know, I take my car there. I just sit there, and you know how it is when you're alone at the bar. You hear things. You know, you're really good in your peripheral vision, and I'm telling you, man, the modern LA woman is so miserable. The most miserable part about her is that she doesn't know how miserable she is.
LA is a tough town.
Yeah.
Do you think it's partly cultural, though? Because one of the things that I notice here is I've gotten in trouble for addressing people as ma'am or sir because they see that as an indicator of age. Versus where I'm from, you address anyone that's of age,
out of respect,
16 or older, that you don't know as ma'am.
It's miserable.
Do you think that has something to do with it?
Dude, the reason I wouldn't open the door for anybody is because every time I sit down at the bar, the first words is hello, and the second word is how much do you have in your bank account?
Or they ask questions to figure that out.
Or ask questions like that. You know, and I'm smart.
What do you do for work?
Exactly.
Like, you know, that whole.
You know, and they don't even care about you opening the door for them. They don't even care. If you think the LA woman cares about you opening the door for her, forget it. And be careful, because if you accidentally hit her, you're going to be in
you're going to get a lawsuit, right?
Yeah, the most litigated state in the world. You know?
All right, so this took place on Friday as I was on my way to the gym. I was going north up La Cienega towards making a left on Sunset. And my car, I did something weird with my car and it shut off. But because of the technology in the car, it automatically went into park. I was fine. And you could see that my car rolled back just a little bit, but it stopped. And the car right behind me just kept inching up closer and closer to me. And I was just thinking to myself, where the fuck are you trying to go? Did you like? If I drove a stick stiff and nothing was wrong with my car, I'm gonna hit you. It's gonna roll back a little bit. So, I guess my complaint is like, where the fuck does everyone think they're going? They make these
somewhere more important than you.
crazy maneuvers. Like that wasn't that crazy, but there's no need to be that close to someone on a hill. You've been up that hill. It's pretty vertical.
Yeah.
People do these insane maneuvers just to get just 3 seconds ahead of you. And they're going to end up at the same place because you end up at the same stoplight.
Yeah.
And it's just like, everyone just chill the fuck out.
Agreed.
That's my complaint.
I mean, we all know traffic in LA is
it's terrible. But where are you going?
Exactly.
We're stuck.
We're stuck.
You're always stuck in traffic. Like, everybody is rushing to get somewhere that they, because probably everybody's running late, because people are always running late in this town.
Always.
And they're not considerate of anybody that is in front of them or behind them. They're just concerned about where they're trying to go. And LA's, I mean, I know we're making it sound like maybe LA's this terrible place. It's not.
It's not terrible. It's just in extremes. LA is the best in what it's the best at, but it's also hands down the worst in what it's the worst at. And I can say that because I've been to 45 countries. I'm telling you, LA, what it does the best, it's by far superior than any place. But what it does the worst, it's also the worst.
You survive
the jungle.
Between 1.5 to
Yeah.
3 years, you'll be fine. Because it just takes that amount of time to just get.
You've been here how long?
Shit. Going on 14, 13 years.
Okay, I came 2001, so 24 years.
Damn,
for
you've
me.
been here a while.
Yeah,
I've been here, I
24
think,
years.
collectively
Yeah,
for like
yeah.
16 or 17 years because I left and then I came back.
And Duane is right. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
Yeah.
But make it here, you better. Like I said,
And I've
you be
actually
ready for
heard
take a
New
beating.
Yorker- New Yorkers say the same thing. Because
Yeah, I
what
disagree.
you just said, they're like, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. But the New Yorkers that come here, they're like, no, if you can make it in LA.
I wonder why they say that. Though.
LA is tougher.
Why do they say that though?
LA is tougher.
I think it's tougher. I think
It is.
economically it's tougher, and
It's
it's
tougher.
harder to find
Your people, your
your
group of
people or
Yeah.
people that were. And going back to our previous conversations, everyone's in their bubble.
Right,
It's
right.
harder to meet people.
Not only that, but you don't have a center of gravity like you have in New York, which is like a classic city, right? So you have a downtown, you have Brooklyn. Here, man, everything is, what's the famous saying? 26 suburbs looking for a city.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you,
I've heard that before.
I've never felt more lonely than in LA when I was down and out. Like in New York or Boston, or when I lived in New York, whatever. Hey, I'm down and out. I can step outside. You feel like, dude, there's 60 jazz clubs. There's 900 blues clubs. There's 400 pubs to go to. Here, man, you have one, and then you got to drive 25
Yeah.
minutes, and everybody hates you. Everybody has an angle.
Yeah.
There's no city when you're down and out that will make you feel more alone than I felt. We remember, I this is what, 15 years, 17 years ago, man, really down and out. And I would have rather been in New York than here. Yeah, this place can
Just
feel
came out
lonely,
too
man.
cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, cold. I'm done with that.
And what about you? Your complaint this week? I'm sure you have several.
Well, yeah, well,
Starting with today.
I'm easy because I hate all day long. I hate everyone equally, so I'm an equal opportunity hater.
A lot of energy.
No,
A lot of energy.
once you get, dude, it's actually, once you become good at it, hating is pretty fun, but especially when it's justified. But no, thank God I don't have a license to kill like James Bond, because there will be mass murder. Let me tell you something. I don't know if something more, I don't know if I hate anything more than people that are oblivious and not considerate to their surroundings.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know if there's anything in life I hate more than when you're 17 minutes in line to spend $7 on a latte, and the person in front of you has been 17 minutes in line with you, and then they get to the counter, and then they don't know what the fuck they want to order.
Oh, yes.
Oh, bitch. I just
Especially as a bartender.
bartender. That happened. Take me there.
That happened to me yesterday, and I'm still angry about that. I still remember a guy in second grade that made fun of me, but I'm telling you, this chick, so she come, and again, like we talk about this, I wouldn't, opening the door for her, so she's, what's, that thing, is it, do you still have pumpkin? I'd like an upside down with half foam, but could you make it half the, and dude, I'm just looking around, and I'm this close to snapping. And when it matters, I can be really slick. So I can make comments that are really brutal, but totally legal and fair, right? And I'm just looking at her, dude. And this chick, and this is going on for 90 seconds now. She's having a conversation, asking, and then she takes, the thing out. She's like, can I use this to scan or not? And this is a normal looking, middle-aged, you can tell, she's not some broke, you know what I mean? Somebody like you talk about that you think would have that respect to at least know her surroundings. And bitch, you had 17 minutes. You stood in line 17 minutes with me. When you come to the front, you should be like, I want this, this, and that.
Yes.
And be done.
Absolutely.
And see, I'm the opposite.
She probably end up ordering something that she always orders.
Yep.
Correct.
Yep.
Like, you know what you wanted.
Bitch, I can tell you.
You know exactly what you
I
wanted.
tell you how many times I go to the gelato place and I look at all the gelatos and I always get stracciatella every single fucking time. Every time.
But my point is, I'm so considerate. Like, if they said they're out of it, I immediately know there's 17 people. I would never want to be that guy.
Yeah.
A fault. Like, oh my God, I'm petrified thinking you're waiting because of me, or like I'm inconveniencing you, right?
Yeah.
But this chick, you can tell just that entitlement of like, well, dude, there's 9 people in line. I already don't want to be here. I hate Starbucks. I hate spending $7 on a latte. And you're having a 9-minute conversation about like what you could, it's just the thought process and the obliviousness that really
Completely
angers
oblivious,
me.
because it's like you cannot feel the death stares behind you.
Right.
Like girl.
Girl, get a grip. You know,
go.
just you know, Don't get me
Just
started.
the inconsiderate LA individual that
It's just so
used to.
arrogant and so entitled and so oblivious, and
Yeah.
it just no. I'm telling you, it gets my blood boiling, and yep.
Well, damn. Well,
Yep.
let's not keep you in that state. Let's move on to our next topic.
Alcohol.
Alcohol. Well, alcohol is always going to be our topic.
Are we cheersing to that?
So, politics aside, what impact does electing a man? We just had obviously we just had the 2024 presidential election over a month ago. What impact does electing a man with the character or value system that Donald Trump has on society? What impact does that have on society?
So, before we get into that, I wanted to read an excerpt from it's Meryl Streep's speech during the 2017 Golden Globes. It's her acceptance speech for the Cecil B. DeMille Lifetime Achievement Award.
Okay.
And when she gave it, I remember it like it was yesterday because it was just seared into my brain. One, because she's brilliant. It was a brilliant speech. I love the fact that she never said his name, not once. And it turned out to be very prophetic. There was one performance this year that stunned me. It sank its hooks into my heart. Not because it was good. There was nothing good about it. But it was effective and it did its job. It made its attended audience laugh and show their teeth. It was that moment that when the person asking to sit in the most respected seat in our country imitated a disabled reporter, someone he outranked in privilege, power, and the capacity to fight back. It kind of broke my heart when I saw it, and I still can't get it out of my head because it wasn't a movie. It was real life. And it's this instinct to humiliate when it's modeled by someone in the public platform, by someone powerful, and it filters down into everybody's life because it kind of gives permission for other people to do the same thing. Disrespect invites disrespect. Violence incites violence. And when the powerful use their position to bully others, we all lose. That's what terrifies me about going into 2025. It's not just the policies that may go into play, because politics is politics, and yes, it may take years to reverse some of those things if we ever get back in power. But it's the culture that he's creating in this country. It's changed.
Yeah, it's like people are doing, more and more crazy shit, getting in the pocket, and they think it's okay because they see this person who, has the highest office in the land, he's behaving in this way. So what's
a big convicted criminal?
Right. So
I'm making sure we're still in frame. So
so I should be able to behave this way too. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because I was looking at something the other day. It was a tweet. I don't know if you guys know who Evan Kilgore is.
No.
Who's that?
So he's this right-wing influencer, and he is an ambassador for this organization called Turning Point USA. And let me read to you what he tweeted after Trump clinched the presidency. Women, back to the kitchen. Abortions, illegal. Gays, back to the closet. Interracial marriage, banned. Illegals, pack your bags. Trannies, back to the asylums. Jesus, back in our schools. We are so back. And I like how on the end he's like, Jesus back in our schools, but all the nasty shit you said prior to saying Jesus back in our schools.
Yeah.
Like, you have the nerve to invoke Jesus' name in this tweet after all this shit that you just put out there.
Well, it's almost like they've changed. If you have Donald Trump standing outside of a church holding up a Bible, it's like they've changed the definition of what Christianity means. Although, in my opinion, a lot of Christians have done that themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They don't necessarily represent the person that they're trying to model themselves.
I don't mean to interrupt, but that's a great list. Can you read that again?
Wait, I also want to read this.
Such a dick.
I also want to read this other thing. You guys do know who Nick Fuentes is.
No.
He tweeted, "Your body, my choice. Your body."
Wow.
Yes. Your body, my choice. So
man.
this is just the start. This is just the start of the kind of shit that's gonna be put out there.
Just in the individuals.
I'm sorry.
I can't even take them
I
seriously.
know you're not currently married to Samantha, but it's an interracial marriage banned. Y'all can't get married.
Well, we're more
married. Get married.
We're more married than our married friends.
Gays back in the closet. Well,
back in the closet.
That's hilarious because when it comes to politicians getting outed, it's usually Republicans.
Right.
It's usually
Almost always.
Yeah.
I mean, the other component of that, electing somebody like Trump back into the presidency is that obviously we've been seeing what his cabinet picks have been like, and there's going to be rampant corruption with him, even more so than the first administration, I believe. Oh
well, he just picks people that don't even have a background in that position.
Right.
Like,
right.
what are you
It's just
talking about?
It's like I'm giving you this job as a favor because you've been loyal to me, during the course of me running for re-election and
You're a painter. Be at the top of the Department of Transportation. Cool.
Right, exactly. Because that makes sense. I just feel like the people that he's already trying to fill his cabinet with anyway they're already questionable. So we already know that there's going to be some kind of like crazy shit that's going to go down, and all of those people that he's putting into those positions of power. Do you think that they're going to put what the people need above their own personal goals and their own what they want, what they're trying to get out of the situation?
What the people need or what the people want? Because it's going back to that.
It's personal gain over the public good is what
I was saying. He rallies people or gets them, unifies his base by disrespecting other people, by stroking the fires of their own ignorance or instilling that ignorance in them. So all he has to do is really use that tool, in my opinion, to get whatever he wants, because they will follow him apparently to the ends of the earth, no matter what he does, as long as he says the things that invokes an emotional reaction out of them. It's not the end of the world. Like, it's still America. I think at the end we'll be fine. It's just this is going to be a rough 4 years.
I mean, I've been in California 25 years. I don't know, I've been through like 5-6 presidents now. I don't think one time whoever was in the White House has affected me in LA ever, it's interesting for me because I don't have a horse in the race, and maybe that's because when you're European, we don't have what's become here in America, this team left, team right, and that's a real, actually for people like me, it's been the hardest, because if you say something that isn't immediately agreeing with my far left friend, I'm immediately a Nazi, and if I don't agree with my far right friend, I'm immediately a libtard. I can't even have a normal conversation where it's either like you're full on with me or full on against me, kind of a thing. And I don't know if I agree that you say the most respected office. You see, I don't think it's the most respected.
Well, not since he got into it the first time. No,
but I don't think it was before that either.
Yeah, but
you're going back to Watergate. Man, that office has been nothing but an office of abuse of power. You're talking, you're talking a guy, cheating on his wife with his secretary, banging her with a cigar. You're talking a guy selling out secrets. You're talking a guy starting wars where there was no weapons. You're talking this guy now. That office, man, American politics are so nasty and so dirty, and I think you're confusing the most respectful office with the most powerful office.
Sure.
It's the most powerful office. There's not...
those are Meryl Streep's words, and I agree that it's the most respected office in that
it should be.
In an ideological way.
Exactly.
In reality, maybe not, but it is the most visible position in the country, if not the entire world.
Yeah.
There's skin in the game from any country during our elections. That's why there's an immediate reaction from every world leader when there's a president-elect.
My thing would be more like, if I was team up, down, left, right, whatever, would be more to figure out what happened and why did he get elected in such a strong, landslide kind of, for lack of better words, unanimous way. I
mean, we know why. It was the economy. As a lot of people are pointing out, they want to point out the cost of groceries and all those types of things, and the border, and it's just like What about
no
just like
topic.
just like decency and people who actually are skilled and experienced enough to actually do the job and do it well?
Yeah.
But it is what it is. We'll see what he does, and hopefully he does something good.
January 20th, the sun is going to be just fine in LA. I'll tell you that.
I mean, well,
Yeah.
but
You know.
speaking of Mr. Trump, he is not a big fan of the electric vehicle mandate. There's an electric vehicle mandate, right?
What's
In
the mandate?
California.
In California. Actually, in California, and there's 12
2035.
other states.
Oh, really?
Well, no, these states, these 12 other states are planning to ban the sale of gas-powered cars following in California's footsteps. They include Delaware, Maine, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York, Oregon, Rhode Island, Vermont, Washington, and possibly Colorado, Connecticut, Virginia, and I think this is Minnesota. And though the ones that I just mentioned, they tend to follow what California does in relation to things like this. And so, obviously, with Biden in office, it was the government's desire to end gas-powered vehicle purchases by 2035.
35, yeah.
2035,
Yeah.
which would lower emissions and promote electric cars. I myself have an electric car right now.
You do?
I do have an
Oh my
electric car.
God, we cannot be friends.
I do, and I have to say, like when we test drove this car,
Oh,
it has get up and go. I was like, how is this drive?
Wayne,
feel?
he's black, he's gay, and he has an electric car.
I have an electric car.
He's from LA.
I'm actually from LA. I mean, at this point, I guess I am.
Yeah.
I'm vegan.
and he's a
No,
vegan.
he's a Los Angeleno.
I'm an Angelino, right? So,
So in case you missed all of
personally-
that, he's black, gay, vegan, and has an electric car.
Wait a minute, I personally,
You have embodied Los Angeles culture.
LA made me gay. Yes, LA made me gay. I think it's a great thing. We're already having these crazy weather patterns and global warming. I think anything that we can do to try to slow that down is a wonderful thing. And I also know that a lot of people are like, well, electric cars are expensive, and the car that we have right now is not that expensive.
Yeah.
It's a fully electric car, and I personally believe that 2035 is plenty of time for new technologies to come out as far as electric vehicles, so it'll become more affordable for people.
But will
I'm
it
for
make
it.
a
I'm for it.
difference?
I feel like if there's a mandate, then that's what forces manufacturers to do it. And we are seeing more and more electric cars, especially the luxury vehicles that we love to drive in LA. I don't mind driving that. I think that there has to be those progressive states, California, pushing that, or we won't get there.
Right.
My concern, though, is, and I do want to clarify just for that people understand that you don't have to turn in your car if it's not electric in 2035. You just they just can't sell you a car that runs on gas.
Yeah, any new car has to be
Every
electric
new
that
car,
they sell.
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But I wonder and worry because it doesn't seem like and maybe this is my own ignorance and I'm just not paying attention. So I'll self-admittedly own that. Are we creating an infrastructure to support that?
Yes, I knew that was going to come up. And
But I'm for it.
No.
But I did see that UCLA, I think it's on their campus, they've created a road that when you're driving along it, it charges your car.
What? Where?
UCLA?
Wow.
Look it up.
Well, where else? Yeah, the richest $100,000 a semester place on earth. Yeah, because those people can afford that.
I mean, yes, infrastructure is definitely a problem. Like, I think this car now, when it's fully charged 100%, it can go like 300 miles or something like that. That's enough to
That's what my car gets on a full tank.
Yeah,
That's fine.
but then you can go fill up your tank and it takes you like 10 minutes, whereas you might have to go sit somewhere and charge your vehicle.
I just love the human arrogance of what we're doing to the world and to each other, and then we're going to invent a few electric cars and think it's going to make a difference. So, we're still producing carbon.
Just start somewhere.
Yeah, but I love being a pessimist, and and I want to see the world burn, and I don't like.
Already is.
It is. But man,
I think you watched Dark Knight Rises.
you know what the electric car is to me.
What is it?
It's exactly like everything else we do. We give each other shit food with all these pesticide in it, and then develop a pill to for you to have to take so you can offset that. When in reality it could just be, it's a great start. Everything is a great start. But man, We're using carbon fiber, dude. The oil factories, the thing that China is doing, until China and Russia and the US, do you have any idea how much oil we're drilling and all of that? The electric thing is a great, I'm telling you, in our lifetime, it won't make a difference. And if you look the bad we're doing to the world versus a few electric cars in California and not even nationwide, I love the effort. I love world peace, but what's the famous saying from that poet? I used to love the world, but now I see the truth. So I'm all for it, guys. You know what? Why? You know, my thing is, why even wait till 2035? Why? Why not just make it 2030?
The manufacturers
They have to get their inventories going and figure out how they're going to make this.
I love the spirit of world peace. I just don't think it's gonna.
But don't you think that it starts to get momentum once you start somewhere? You have to start somewhere. I mean, to your point, there's in terms of gas emissions, you can talk about like the burning of the rainforest, what they say that like the palm oil or whatever like that causes it has a significant effect on things. But don't you have to just start? Don't you have to crawl before you walk?
100%. But what have we proven in history? You know, there's this famous. Didn't you go to Howard Fine too?
I did.
Yeah.
For a short while.
Yeah. There was this great thing Howard Fine said.
Acting studio.
Yeah, that stuck with me forever. You know. And he's totally right. You know, Samantha and I talk about that a lot. If you look in the history of humans, what has changed on human behavior? Nothing but the clothes we wear. So we still cheat the same. We still betray for the same reasons. We still murder for the same.
How are we getting all this
greed.
from an electric car?
No. Well, listen. Human behavior has not changed. You betray, you cheat, you murder, you enslave, you're racist, you oppress the power. Nothing has changed except for the clothes you wear.
Behavior hasn't changed, but if you were to compare our society back to like the Middle Ages, like it was far more dangerous back then.
And
we're gonna die.
What I'm saying is, I think this is a great yet failed attempt, but it doesn't.
It hasn't failed. It hasn't failed yet.
No. I'm saying is it doesn't address the problem with the roots. You see what I'm saying? Which is really what we're doing with.
We can't. We don't have time to get into that. What I'll say is we've always moved with changes in technology, like even just going from like cassette tapes to CDs to like digital music, like stuff like that. So the technology.
You know how much the batteries
Stop
in
it.
this
Stop it.
do damage.
Stop it.
You know what I mean? So a few electric cars.
Technology.
Good luck.
Technology is
planet Earth.
advancing, and I think people will get on board when it becomes something that's going to be more affordable for people. And with that, I think we'll just like leave.
I want the world to burn, planet
It
burn.
will become the norm, exactly. So, as we're getting into this holiday season, I was reading this article the other day about this astounding amount of returns that happen over the course of the year. And does anybody want to guess that number?
Amount of what?
Returns and cash value. Like when you go out shopping and you return something to the store.
I bet you 80%.
Well, give me a number. Give me a nice round.
Like in millions or
It's got to be the billions.
It's got to be billions.
Okay. I'll give you a figure. When I first started working in customer service at Verizon Wireless, AT&T was the only company that had the
iPhone. Yeah, I remember that.
So in order to maintain our customer base, they focused on customer service, which also meant basically when someone called in and their phone was fucked up, we just gave them a new phone.
Damn.
And it ended up costing them $8 billion
a year.
Just for the year.
Wow.
They had to dial that back.
So then
you take that one company.
Wow.
That's one company. So let's multiply that by whatever. I'm
going to say
however many companies, Amazon, which is like,
oh my God, Amazon.
I'll say $10 billion.
Okay, well, the returns I'll give you the value in 2024. It's expected to reach $890 billion in return goods, which is up 15% from 2023. So, as a small business owner myself, I distributed men's sportswear for a while. Like once you get those return emails as a small business, like you just feel it in your chest, and you're just like, damn, because you know that you're gonna have to like pay for shipping to get the item back to you, and then you're gonna have to like possibly replace that item, and maybe you can't sell that item because maybe the item that you sent them originally, maybe it had like some seam that was loose or something.
Right.
So it was like a manufacturing thing, and you try to get your money back from your manufacturer or whatever, but my heart would always sink when I would get those email messages from people.
That was me emailing returning everything. I buy a lot of shit from him and then return it.
No, one of the big things one of the big causes is this new thing that's called bracketing, and I'm responsible for bracketing. Maybe you guys are responsible for bracketing too.
What's bracketing?
I'm going to tell you. Bracketing is when you go to a website, and let's say I see this shirt on Zara or something like that, and I'm like, okay, well, I want it to fit on my body a certain kind of way, so I'm going to order the small, the medium, and the large.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
so I'm going to order all those sizes and have them sent to my house and do a fashion show at my house.
Right.
And then whatever I don't want, I'm returning. Well, that's costing them shipping.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And a lot of times, some of these products that come back to these retailers, they can't even resell them, like legally. They can't resell them, and so they just end up in a landmine somewhere. So it's not only that these retailers are losing money. That I don't really care too much about, like the big retailers, but like small business owners like myself, I care about those people. And a lot of this stuff just ends up in landfills, so it's not good for the environment. All the
Not to
packaging,
mention the packaging
Yeah.
alone, because I mean, how many of us, like as we were talking earlier, how many of us have gotten an Amazon package?
oh my God, yes.
Are
you kidding me?
And they gave us this box this big with all this shit in it. You're like,
yes.
are you serious?
If there's a day where there's no Amazon package that arrives at our house, I'll go into a state of depression. Are you kidding me? That's like the best day.
It's like a drug.
It's like a drug. And I love being wasteful. Are you kidding me? Being wasteful is the best thing. I do exactly that. I order but listen, it's Amazon. They can afford it, and we're Amazon Prime members. So when I order something like workout gloves the other day, I ordered like 26 of them, and returned 25. Why? Because I can, and they let me.
You're lying.
That's ridiculous.
Right now.
You're
He's
just like,
lying.
shut up.
He's been
Okay,
stupid.
no.
He's
Real
being
question:
stupid.
that number, is that globally or is that the U.S.?
I'm not. It says National Retail Federation, so maybe just the U.S.
Jesus,
Yeah.
that's almost $1 trillion.
Isn't that crazy?
You guys want to order a bunch of shirts
It
just
says-
to see what fits?
Listen, returns in 2023
Yeah, because
created
you don't
8.4
know.
billion pounds
There
of
you go.
landfill waste. Like
Oh, shut up! You've been guilty of it. You probably ordered pants and shirts yourself.
I don't bracket. I don't do that because
What do you mean you don't bracket? The moment you
Well,
order
I
two
just
shirts,
described
that's
bracketing.
bracketing.
to you. Well, yes, I'm saying I don't do that. Like I go to the store when I have the opportunity to, and I'll try something on.
Oh, wait a second. If you order a shirt that's large, and it you know how large sometimes is too small or too big, right? And it doesn't fit, you're going to send it back, and now you know you need a medium.
Right, but why
don't you just order large and medium at the same time?
Well, that's what people are doing, but it's costing the retailers money.
He
a lot
says
of
they're
money.
doing it on a larger scale. Like
Yes.
they're always doing that. Like,
Yes.
I'm going to order just because
I have a friend who does it all
they're
the
like,
time.
They're like, oh, they may know. Like I self-admittedly, I shop at Shein, and I know that this particular provider or manufacturer, Manfinity. Have you heard of them?
Oh, I don't know.
I know my size.
Manfinity.
Looks good.
You want it nice and snug?
Yep.
Put me down as the biggest bracketer. I'm a proud bracketer.
But I know my size in that.
Mm-hmm.
So once I figured out my size, I just order that size.
Right.
But I think what you're
And
talking
are these
about,
Chinese sizes or are these U.S. sizes?
but what you're talking, these are whatever they're
Because all those-
U.S. sizes.
Okay.
But that's because
But what
you know
I
the
thi-
brand.
But I know the brand. But what I think he's saying is like people, they just don't even trust that. They may always shop at Zara, always shop at H&M, and they're like, well, this is a different fit than that shirt, so I'm going to order 3 of them.
Maybe you
and
put
send
out
them
a little weight and
regardless.
even wear it.
They're always doing that.
100%. I want to have choice and options. And by the way, you guys is easy. You guys are big and muscles and stuff. You kind of can gauge it. I'm 5'10", kind of in the middle of nothing. And so every fucking brand, even with shoes, is completely different. I order a large in one thing, it's like, and then the same large in another.
It's not consistent.
Consistent,
I don't
man.
like ordering
Are you kidding me?
online.
I can't live a life where I order one shirt at a time. I'll order 9 and send 8 back. And that's what I'm paying Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime is charging you a fee exactly for that. That's why you're paying Prime.
I mean, it's just. I mean, I get.
small businesses,
I
it
understand
sucks.
what you're saying. It just kind of sucks that it's having this huge impact on the environment. Like everything is having a huge impact on the environment. So that's why it's wonderful to have electric cars. Let me take it all back.
Full circle.
I want V8's naturally aspirated gasoline. Death to electric cars. You have an electric car, really?
I do have an electric
We
car. I
cannot
love
be
it.
friends
I love
anymore.
it.
That's
I love
not
it. I
good
think
for
it's
my
great.
image. Listen,
Image.
I have
It's
a
image.
tough guy image to portray, and I cannot hang out with people that want to save the
He's a
environment.
softie. He's a
Totally.
softie. All right.
My
guys.
accent is fake, dude.
It's time for our segment called "Should I Be Bothered?" It's where we get messages from our friends asking us questions about certain situations and if they should be bothered or not. So I have some of those here, and we're going to discuss those very briefly.
And on future episodes, you guys.
Yes, please send them in. We'd love to share them with our audience. So, should I be bothered? We have Pablo writing from Chicago, Illinois. Pablo says, my partner and I were part of a large friend group made up of both singles and couples. I had a falling out with one half of a couple in the group. He and I haven't spoken to each other in months, even when the group would get together, although that has been few and far between these days. Every holiday, he, the one I'm not speaking to, sends out cute Christmas cards on behalf of the couple to people in the friend group. The card just arrived in the mail today and was not addressed to both of us, but just had my partner's name on it.
Nice. Great.
Should I be bothered?
Eddie, yes. You're a whole grown-ass man.
Should I be
petty as fuck.
Okay. Yes, you should be bothered. You should be. How are you gonna take a pen and write down my husband's name or partner's name on this envelope? You know, and just send it to my home and not include me.
What a great move.
That is passive-aggressive at its finest.
Love it.
Like that takes so much.
And he's going to lose
Yeah.
sleep over that. He's going to lose sleep over that. I love it. I love it.
You're being messy. You're being messy and petty.
Yeah.
Because it's going to cause drama. Why?
Yeah.
So Pablo,
Don't worry, a
yes.
few electric cars will save you. Get an electric car.
So Pablo, yes, you should be bothered. You should be very bothered.
Trump will fix it.
Either do both or not. Just don't send
Exactly.
it.
Just don't send it.
Yeah.
All right, so Carolyn from Odessa, Texas. She says, last night my husband ate the last slice of pizza without asking if I wanted it.
What a man.
I'd been looking forward to it all day, but when I went to the fridge, it was gone. He didn't even mention it or apologize afterwards. It's not the first time something like this has happened, and now I'm wondering if I'm overreacting. Should I be bothered?
I have a question for Carolyn.
You have a question for Carolyn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Carolyn communicate that she wanted that slice of pizza.
That's exactly where I was going to go with it, because if this is our home that we share, and I'm assuming we both spent the money on this pizza, it's whoever gets it, gets it.
Whoever gets it, gets it.
Whoever gets it, gets it.
Caroline.
So you should not be bothered, in my opinion, because this is something that, flip things around. You know what I'm saying? He could say the same thing for you, and it's because you two maybe aren't communicating. So if you get up in the morning and say, hey, babe, there's a slice of pizza. It's mine. Please don't eat it.
Can I have the final word in that? I always wanted to do this. Is it Caroline or Caroline?
Carolyn,
Caroline.
Odessa, Texas.
Caroline. Get a grip.
But we love you and thank you for, sending us your message.
Odessa.
And finally, this is Darren from North Hollywood, California. He says, I've been frustrated when going out to gay bars lately. In short, they don't seem that gay anymore.
Is he gay or straight, the guy writing this?
I'm gonna assume he's
He's
gay.
gay.
Oh,
They're
okay.
gay
I don't know.
bars.
I go to gay bars. I'll go to the Abbey and I'm straight.
Quite frankly, well, the Abbey's a different story these days. But
Well, I guess it is, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so quite
Fair
frankly, there's a lot of straight identifying guys and girls there. I don't mean to be discriminatory, but it's annoying. It's annoying. Excuse me. Should I be bothered?
I'm going to sit this one out because, like I said, I'm really, bro, and then you wonder.
Well, let me go first on this one, Darren. Yes, you should be bothered because I feel like gay bars were meant to be a space for gay men to get together, and it's meant to be a safe space. And so when these younger gay guys, it's mostly like a Generation Z type of thing. I feel like they're inviting their female friends to these bars to hang out with them because maybe they're just insecure and don't want to go by themselves. They don't have anybody else to go with. And so you have these straight women coming into the bars and they're doing the most. Like they're going up to the dancers and like grabbing their junk, grabbing their ass and think that it's okay and they can get away with it because they're at a gay bar and they can do that. And it's not okay. And then when you have these straight women coming in, you get to these straight guys coming in knowing that straight girls are there. And so then they're going there specifically for those women. And then when gay guys hit on them, they get offended. Now, how the hell do you have the nerve
What
to
are you
get
talking about?
offended?
I go to the
I have a different take.
When I go to a gay bar, I get hit on all the time, and I think it's such a nice
That's
respect.
you.
That's
That
you.
is you.
That's
That's
lovely.
a
I
different
think
take.
that's a nice appreciation when somebody thinks you're cute and beautiful, and vice
You're
versa.
secure in yourself.
As a
Exactly.
well, I'm a very insecure person,
And you're secure in your sexuality.
Right.
well, maybe. But what I'm saying is, a straight guy can't do that to a woman, which is a different topic anymore nowadays. You got to be very careful. You know that. I think that's what I'm saying earlier. Thank God I'm not dating anymore. But go ahead. You go first. You take it.
I don't think that. I think here's where I think is what's happened. And I think this younger generation, is it
Gen Zs.
Gen Z,
Right.
Do we know he's
I
young?
think.
I mean, we don't.
Well, I
older
think
guy.
the
don't see his age.
avid
I'm
bar
his age.
goers is probably Gen Z. So that's what
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, fair
assuming.
enough.
I think that just been a lot of progress in terms of LGBTQ rights, and it's just become a lot more mainstream. So I don't know that that girls are going there because of their gay friend that's insecure, or straight guys are just going there because the girls are there. I think they're kind of going there collectively as friends. So there's part of me, it's like a double-edged sword. It's like part of me is like, okay, we've gotten to this point where it's mainstream, but at the same time, respect the space. It's not your space. And if we were to go into like a sports bar and just flame the fuck out,
and start making out with each other,
start making out, you start voguing, they would look at us like we're fucking crazy. But you see them on the dance floor just doing a death drop, and it's like, okay, well,
then they would get uncomfortable.
Then they would get uncomfortable. So
right?
It's like, it's one thing. It does bother me when it's like when the demographic is is kind of overrun, and it's not our own demographic. But it wouldn't bother me so much if people respected the space and understood where they're at.
Well, you know how we met. I was working in a gay bar, and the first
what were you doing in a gay bar?
I was bartending. Oh, the first customer bartending
flew right over. I was bartending. What else?
The first like 20, 30 people through the door, it was all women. Yeah. And whether it's like bachelorette parties or just
been like that though. Ever since I was bartending,
it's not always been like that. It's not always been like that.
It's gotten worse.
It's gotten worse. Women come in and they're there celebrating their.
Women always feel safe in a gay bar.
I understand that, but like we want to feel safe in our space, the space that was intended for us. But
why do you not feel safe in a gay bar?
I explained that. Well, it's not because women walk in. I'm saying it's because straight women are coming in there, and I'm not saying that straight guys are going there only to find women. What other reason do they have to go there?
Real straight guys
get aggressive. They can get aggressive, just like the women get aggressive as well with some of the dancers and some of the people that go to the bar, the gay guys that go to the bar. And like this is a space meant to be safe.
You see, this is a gay bar.
I feel like the gay bars West Hollywood has changed since I moved here 13 years ago.
No, it's definitely.
And I just think that, and I definitely went to the bars, and I was there with my girlfriends and gay friends, but I think that I felt like the women that were there were more aware of the space. Like they were the girls that were friends with the gay guys, and like they were kind of vetted. But now it's like they don't even necessarily even need to have anyone in the group that's LGBTQ. They just go.
I know what you're talking about. You can pick up on the vibe. Something I don't know what you're on about. You can't really put into words, but you can tell you're not really here because it's a gay club. You're here because you're using it as a platform for your correct. And I get that, and that's not exclusive just to gay places. That's exclusive to, again, when people are fucking oblivious to their surrounding and their stage, and
full circle.
Yeah, but at the same time, Darren.
Should he be bothered? I already said what I told
Darren. I'm going to go a little philosophical here. In this particular case, we're talking about gay or whatever. Doesn't matter. Darren. There's places on planet Earth you get killed. You can't even come out. You get stoned to death for being gay. Well, here we have cities, we have whole quarters, we have whole sections. You can get married, you have equal rights, you can have green cards now, taxes count, everything. Dude, just don't waste your time on that shit. Count your fucking blessings. And I'm sure if this gay bar isn't gay enough for you, I'm sure you can find a bar that's. I think you're
just not in West Hollywood.
I'll tell you something.
Just not in West Hollywood.
You know what the issue is with this? The issue I have with this, and maybe just because I'm straight. It's like, dude, just for a moment, celebrate how good you have it. Okay, I know it can be always better. It could always be worse. You know what? Come to West Hollywood. We have a whole town that's just for LGBTQ. That's awesome.
That's
wonderful.
why I say it's a double-edged sword.
It's a double-edged sword, Darren.
Good problem
it's
to have.
Darren, if that's your problem, bro. If that's your problem, God bless you, bro.
Well, Darren, I say that you should be just a little slightly bothered because I've experienced that working in a gay bar, and I know that it can be frustrating and annoying. Not to mention that a lot of women do not tip.
They don't?
Yeah.
No, you don't tip.
Because they expect the man.
Get those bitches out of there.
I'm not gonna say they expect the man to tip when they're with the man, but
No.
the tipping is not happening as frequently and as often.
But I don't know what you're talking about. They're taking advantage of the platform versus really being there because it's. And I know that's frustrating, man.
It changes the energy and the vibe, and it also there's kind of a safety issue going back to what you were saying before, like gay men may not feel comfortable doing some of the things that they may do in a gay space because a female is present.
Right. Oh,
It's,
I remember. Do you
yeah,
remember,
I know what you're talking about.
Do you,
Yeah.
do you remember the Hair Lounge?
Of course.
Yeah. So the Hair Lounge now it's closed. I used to bartend there.
Love that place.
It was amazing when it was open, and
great.
they had certain nights where it was. Well, today you can't do it. Of course, you get sued. But when it was cocktail night on Tuesdays, it was guys only, no women allowed. And then they had truck stop ladies. And
Can you not do that now?
well, you could today, but today, of course, everybody's going to scream.
Oh, they do it all the time in straight bars, though. They let women in and they don't let men in. They cut.
Exactly.
So
Well,
why can't we do it?
my point is, when the Hair Lounge did it, it was the biggest success
Yeah.
ever. And then the other 4 nights was mixed. It was just gay, period, right? But
I like that idea.
But
We should
Tuesday and
revisit
Thursday was women and women only. And then cocktail was guys only. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was.
Still have
And
that
I
night.
get
There's a night like that at the Abbey or Chapel.
There's a night like that? Where's just men?
But-
Huh?
Where's just men?
Just
no,
men?
the theme might be just
theme
men,
is
but
just
women
men.
still come in.
Oh.
He's saying it was just men.
This was
Okay.
2004, where
Yeah,
it was no guys only tonight.
Guys only.
Oh, yeah.
And women respect that nobody. It was guys only, and then truck stop lady night was only women. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that would be great to see if we could revisit that. I think that would bring something.
But it comes back to women.
Even legal now?
No, today you can't do that. Today
you
can't
could do it. Just you just have to do it the right way, I guess. But yeah, Darren, thank you for writing in. And so let's.
Darren, you'll live there and you'll survive.
Darren, you'll be fine. Go out to go to Hot Dog on Sunday if you're in LA.
Go to Mickey's.
Where are you?
Go to
You're in
some
North
of the
Hollywood.
parties.
Go to circuit
Warehouse parties.
Go to warehouse parties. Go to Hot Dog on the East Side.
Go to Mickey's. There's no women in Mickey's.
That's not.
Yeah,
true.
that's not true.
No, not anymore. I'm
That
just
is
kidding.
not But Darren, thank you for writing in. So let's keep the conversation going, guys. We'd love to hear from you on any suggestions on topics you'd like to hear us cover, any questions that you'd like to get our takes on.
Good timing.
You know.
Episode 1 done and we're empty. So
Please feel free to send your comments and questions to our email at you're-not-my-type-bro@gmail.com. That's YOURE, not-my-type-bro@gmail.com. And you can send us any kind of DM, slide into our DMs on our socials. It's the same thing, at you're-not-my-type-bro. That's on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. If you like to use the Twitter, it's at YNMTB Show on Twitter. And again... Or X. Oh, well, yeah. X. Yeah.
And just remember, I'm straight and I was forced to be.
So be sure to follow all of our socials. We would love to have you as friends, and subscribe to the channel and just share with your friends and get the word out about You're Not My Type, Bro, because we would love to be part of your daily show watching, whether you're watching us on YouTube or if you're listening to us as a podcast on any of the podcast platforms. We would love for you to be a part of our family and continue to grow with you and bring you more interesting topics that you guys would like us to discuss and talk about.
And remember, life is much easier if you hate everyone equally. See you on the next episode.
It's going to be so much fun.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Peace out.